Welcome to England, you know. Jesus Christ.
What you bring men out here?
We have crossbar challenge. We have Don Robbie. We have the fan, Nick. They're up against me, Vessel G.
How's your touch? Bad boy thing.
Good morning. Hello and welcome to AFTV News Daily Show. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Now, guys, you know me. I'm going to start, obviously, we have James in the wings. Oh, you know me. I always have to bring him in, my co-host. I feel uneasy without him. It's weird not being alongside James. But before we start, obviously, I'll go through the comments and see what you guys are saying. This is not really on the topic right now, but we'll get to the topic. Niggly Twiggly Wiggly says, will he have bed hair? Let me tell you, me and James probably both have bed hair. Actually, you know what? This is about, look at that mess. As you guys may be aware, we did the Walk the Line charity event yesterday for AFTV. We was there from the crack of dawn, doing these shows, doing interviews, and then going to the office and making sure the event runs smoothly and being part of it. And then we were getting back very, very late last night. So please forgive us for this morning. Because yeah, it was a very long one, but we're still here bright and early, giving you the news of the day. So let's introduce my man in anyway while we do. James B got the sound machine. I told you, I've got to get the value out of it, James. I have to. I paid way too much money for it.
You got really, yeah.
And obviously. Obviously, we raised, I think, over £5,000 yesterday. So thank you for all that's tuned in. That's it from me. That's it from me in the sound machine. But anyway, thank you. Well done yesterday. River Whitewood says, well done yesterday, lads. It was great cause. Cecil had the treadmill truck going. Never broke a sweat. Come on. Listen, like Robbie said, we have a go at players as fans on the screen. And I'll cuss a player for not running, but because I do that because I know I can run. So like we saw yesterday, a lot of fans have the mouth when it comes to the games, and then when they got on the treadmill, we're literally honestly, if you watch, I don't know if you guys watched it. I know it's a long live stream, but the people that went on the treadmills were absolutely dripping. Likes of Expressions, Robbie, like they was Kalechi, drip. James, honestly, I touched them and my hand just went shot. Like it's like lockdown really got to me.
It was surprisingly difficult. Like I mean, it wasn't hard. It was just harder than you'd expect. You know what I mean? I thought nice stroll, 15 minutes. Oh, hey, Roll Crews, how you all doing? And also, by the way, that comment about the bed hair. I turn up once with maybe not perfect hair, and this is just a thing now. Do you know how many times we do this show, but that one time people remember?
Bro, I'm telling you, like everyone's obviously saying the hats are on. You know when, like, obviously I don't drink. Morning. Yeah, I don't drink, but I know my teacher used to, like, the dance teacher used to be like, I used to wear my hat when I was out the night before because I couldn't do my hair. That's how I feel. Like we was up so late at the studio working, and we had to put my hat on. But yeah, well, enough about yesterday. Again, I just want to quickly touch. I do want to touch on it and just say, so it was for the High Food Bank. Anyone that missed it, it's on AFTV's channel. We raised money for the homeless and vulnerable for this festive period. Their food bank open every Wednesday. A great cause run by Bryony, the founder of it. It's called Bryony. She's a lovely lady, and like Robbie said, it didn't get any of the headlines or the press. So Robbie felt the need to, after going down there, do it and get involved. So hopefully we'll be able to do it again and continue our partnership because it's great. It's a great cause. And 2020, I kept saying it, terrible year. So we need some positivity, like Arsenal beating Tottenham Sunday, hopefully.
That would be special. Speaking of 2020, I'll ask you guys in the comments. Have you done your Spotify Wrapped yet?
I haven't, but you messaged me this morning. Does it take long? I'll do it.
It takes 2 seconds. Do you know what? Do it while I give the Buendia update. But for anyone who doesn't know, Spotify will basically like collate kind of all your most listened to music, your top artists, top genre, everything. It's always good fun. I think it's always like, it sounds a bit trivial, but you kind of, as bad a year as it's been, you kind of listen back and it kind of will play like songs that you've been listening to. Do you know what? Like, this was a good moment, or that was a good time. So I don't know. It's always a bit of a feel good thing. It just reminds you about how quickly the year goes by. You did it now.
I got
Doesn't
it.
it get you quite excited when you're just like, God, yeah, this is a banger. Do you know what I mean?
I don't.
Yeah.
I can't. Listen, let's get. I'll start spinning
No,
off this.
it's true. You'll start getting too into it. But you know, this is I for the last like 3 years in a row, Migos were my top artist. But this first year ever, Travis Scott knocked him off. So that's a big milestone in my life. That
Mine will probably be Chris Brown. I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, probably Chris Brown. I'm a Chris Brown fan. But yeah,
apparently I'm in the top 0.5% of listeners for Travis Scott, which I think is quite mad, isn't it? But hey, anyway,
all right,
let's talk Arsenal.
Yes.
So let's get into it. So the first thing I wanted to chat about was Emi Buendia. I'm quite keen to chat about this one actually because Buendia. So if anyone doesn't know, he's a kind of attacking midfielder, number 10, can play on the wing. Comparable, I suppose, to like a Cazorla Willian hybrid kind of thing, maybe. And he plays for Norwich. A lot of you would have seen him in the Premier League last season. He looked very good. Unfortunately, Norwich struggled, so it was kind of difficult to see him shine. But he was a very good player for them. Still is down in the Championship.
Like a lot of Norwich's players didn't get poached at the end of their season. I'm like really surprised about it because they had some players that I thought could still.
That's some real players.
Yeah,
I mean, Ben Godfrey was picked up by Everton, which didn't surprise me. He looked a real talent. Yeah, you're right. Todd Cantwell, Timu Puki, maybe he was worth a go for some people, but didn't happen.
I said those two are the ones that were on top of my head.
Yeah, but there are loads of them. What's his name? Hernandez plays on the. Anyway, there are loads of them. But back to Buendia, he was a player that I said all summer window, I said, go for Aouar, go for Szoboszlai, go for whoever you want. But if you don't get them, Buendia is in the Championship. And no one's going for him. And he's proven he can create chances and perform at Premier League level. Even in a struggling side. He did it in a struggling Norwich side. So the fact that we didn't, I've got to say, really infuriated me. I thought, why do we keep missing a trick? And we spoke about it a few weeks ago, Cecil. We said, why on earth are we not looking at the Championship at players who, you know what, like they've proven they're too good for that league. And what's the next step up? It's the Prem. Have a go. They're not, I mean, we're willing to spend 72 million on Pepe, and that's not Pepe agenda. I'm just saying we spent the money. I'm not criticising Pepe, but we're willing to spend that money on someone who had one good year in league, the best French league in French football. But we weren't willing to spend a fraction of that on players who have actually shown they can do it in the Premier League. And I just think it's mad. I saw Ben Rama for West Ham the other night, and he was so skillful. Like he was completely fine at this level. So anyway, Chris Wheatley, big up Chris Wheatley. He's at Football London now. I think he's the chief Arsenal reporter. Sorry if I've got that title wrong. But anyway, top guy. And he basically broke all sorts of news about how Szoboszlai, Aouar, I think. He basically, there were some names that are being considered, but Emi Buendia is like, he's really in there now, and Arteta's a big fan.
Good.
So I want to get your take, Cecil, the take of the fans. I think he's here we go. This is Tolu Bewaji says Buendia created something like 4 to 5 chances per game. He did have a really good chances created record over the season.
Bear with me. Jordan Stanter says, what does Arteta have to do to stay or to leave? Let me just bank that. We'll come back to that. Buendia, my thoughts, watched him. I had watched him obviously last year, but then had a revisit when obviously we knew I was doing this show. I had a revisit to his talent. I think obviously the highlights are dangerous, as we know. Watching that, they always do the best bits, but he's a player that will definitely benefit Arsenal. I feel like I don't feel it will complete our problems. Definitely not. However, he is a player that plays on the half turn and can definitely join defense to attack without a doubt. Like he's clearly proven that many a times. If you watch, you can literally go and you can watch back one game of Norwich's last season that he's playing, and you'll see the way he picks up the ball and drives with it. He has good distribution as well, left and right side. He can zing at both sides, which is not a rarity, but it's not. Do you know what? No, I'm going because I haven't seen it from Arsenal players. It's a rarity to see both a player in midfield be able to pick up both feet, each side, diags. I've got a lot of time for that. But I also feel he needs someone alongside him. Obviously, Partey will definitely help. But I think we need a whole new. This doesn't sound harsh. We need a whole new midfield, and then people to be able to be a like-for-like substitution. So we need, obviously, not taking out Partey. Partey's a new one. Buendia will be good to have, but we need another midfielder alongside that. I don't know, rather as the legs to do the pressing. I know we've got Partey, but he might sit. But someone who has the legs. I think Buendia and Saka would link up well. I think when the way he sees runs, Buendia is crazy, and he always plays them. So if that's the case, Arteta won't. I'll put more pressure on Arteta. If we get him, I'll put so much pressure on him, because going forward, that's your key. If you get him on the ball, all you need to do is get him on the ball, Aubameyang to make runs in behind, which he should naturally do, and that's it. Like, obviously, there's more, but yeah, the attacking side should 100% improve once we have someone in there. But yeah,
I completely agree, and he reminds me of Santi Cazorla in his kind of low centre of gravity, the way he looks after the ball. And you're right, he's got that ability with both feet. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. I wouldn't even be disappointed if we found out we were going for him as our first choice. Someone needs to be targeted. And I saw Fabrizio Romano say recently that he says, can't remember what podcast it was. I think it was Que Golasso, I think. I'll double check that. But Fabrizio Romano did say, let me find it before I confirm it. But he basically said he's expecting something special from Arsenal this January. That really surprised me, because Romano's not one who deals in anything but facts. You know, he will. Yeah, he'll say if he's got an opinion or a feeling, but you know, he knows his stuff. He's really well connected. I just want to find the exact tweet. Romano says, "Yeah, K Golasso Poddy says, I tell you that I expect something special from Arsenal when speaking about the January transfer window. I mean, I hope so, man. If Buendia is the start of that,
I just want to say
maybe two attacking midfielders.
Definitely two. I keep saying it. Like, I say a lot of things in these shows that are kind of just throwaways, but then I remember it happens, and I'm like, oh my god, I said that. Why don't we pick up it? So things like the board will. Ozil's going in the summer. The board want to cover up the need for Ozil. They're gonna want to cover it up. So I expect them to, instead of just getting one creative midfielder, I expect them to get two, because then it just flushes out the Ozil press. So that's one thing. Secondly, I also want to say that, yeah, like I said, if we get Buendia, Arteta's system should really be, instead of just going to the left side and getting trapped in the midfield, it should be, well, let's get the Gabriel on the ball, and then pass it straight forward to Buendia. Then he will be able to join the attack to defense. It's very simple. That's very clear. That will probably be the tactics. But we should get more than one, so we have a plan B. I always talk about Arteta's plan Bs, and they're never there. It's never clear. And I feel like the team gets stuck once we get found out. And on this as well. So I'm talking a lot, but I don't know why we haven't trusted players coming from the Championship. Like James has been saying, Mason Mount. I don't think he gets enough credit for actually how good he is. I don't want to talk about a Chelsea player too long, but Mason Mount, I know a lot of people at times, especially Chelsea fans, don't really rate him as highly as. Well, I think he's a good player, and I think he really does rise to the level of the Premiership. I don't know why we don't do that. Why Arsenal don't pick up players like that, especially if they're young and talented.
Did you hear that? Arteta said in an interview yesterday or the day before, he was asked about, he was talking about playing the 4-3-3, and he basically said, to play the 4-3-3, you need like real specific players in those positions. And that's everything me and you have been saying when defending Arteta. Now, I know it could be all talk. I know he could be just buying himself time. I get all that. But I believe him. When I look at the football and the patterns we're trying to play, I'm like, I get what we're trying to do, but quite frankly, we're not good enough to do it. You can see that the players don't do it naturally. And he said, you know, we need 5 or 6 very specific positions addressed, and we don't have that. And you're thinking, well, do we sack a manager if things get worse, or do we, you know, because I'm now this is going on to this question here. What does Arteta?
Yeah, I was going to say let's ask.
You know, if we sack him, you're just bringing in another manager who's going to want his own 5, 6, 7 players. At least we're 2 players in with Arteta, maybe 3, and now we've got to start. We've got to go through January. Hopefully, give him another 1 or 2. Then get to the summer, give him another 2, 3, 4, and then hopefully by the start of this is a transitional year, guys. We've got to accept it. If you think we're going to finish top 6, challenging for top 4, which, yes, I hoped for. But I've had a real reality check, and I'm not prepared to sack the manager over this. I think there are bigger problems at the club, and I think Arteta isn't perfect, but he's not one of them. So it was very interesting, and I can see, but yeah, it really great. Thank you, Abe Warrior. I'm just going to read this out. Buendia was in the top 5 dribbles completed, chances created, and balls recovered from midfield last season. You should definitely get him, and he'll be cheap too. I agree. We need to start adding these players to the squad now that are Arteta players, are the ones he wants, and hopefully results will start to change. But we've got to back him, and you can see that he clearly wants quite a few positions still addressed.
Yeah, to go back to just quickly from my point, Jordan, just go back to your point. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he deserves to have a full season. I think deserves more players of his players to actually fairly assess him. Again, I've said this recently. It's still Emery's team. It's still Emery's team. At the end of the day, it is. It really is. So no wonder why we're playing similar to.
And the remains of Arsenal's team.
Yeah, like we have. I think bar Gabriel. Okay, Willian came on the weekend, but bar that. It's Emery's team, so you just got to give the man a bit of time. I know it's frustrating. I'm fully aware of that. I'm exactly the same as you. It's very frustrating. And if Arteta loses the derby on Sunday, he's gonna feel it. He will definitely feel it. So, but I just feel I will be the one angry, especially if we don't play well. I'll be fuming. I know I will, but I need to keep remembering. Like, come on, he does need a whole season to at least have his players and try his way of playing. And like James says, if you get a new manager in, it's a rebuild process again. Their staff has to come in, their philosophy has to come in. They have to get rid of players that were from other managers and we're just going to put ourselves straight back to the beginning. You know what I mean? It's long to go through that all over again. We'll just be a rebuilding mid-table club for the next 5 years, 3 years. I don't know. I can't deal with that. Jeremy Swaz Lynch, regular, thank you very much. The issue right now with Arsenal's individuals react to how others are playing. Also very true. Also very difficult to not do that. There's a rarity of players that can just switch on no matter how bad the team's playing. The only guy that comes straight to mind is Bruno Fernandes. He literally, I wouldn't expect it, but I do now, but he holds up United. If he's not firing, it's not great. Same with us with Aubameyang. If he doesn't, anyway. If others are panicking, individuals will panic. We need someone that can get the ball, calm it down, and take control. Fact.
A lot of truth in that. I also wanted to say, following on from your point, Cecil, that also the fans need to. This is harsh because I'm attacking 100. Oh, that's nice. I'm attacking 100% of the fan base here, including ourselves, when I say this. Sometimes we all just need to realize we don't know best. Do you know what I mean? We all sat here and said, go back to a back 4 because we're boring. Put Aubameyang up front because we're not scoring goals. Put Joe Willock in the team because we need energy. Put Willian on the left because he'll be better there. We all asked for all these things and nothing improved, right? So, at that point, you can do one of two things. You need to start blaming the manager and saying, well, you've tried everything, it's not working, you're clearly incompetent, which some people are. And I get why a lot of people feel that way. But the other way to look at it is actually, yeah, we might have been boring before, but we knew why we were boring because we didn't feel we had the players to be more expansive, and Arteta clearly didn't trust what he had. And we know that. And we know from the way he's spoken after victory sometimes. We know the way he wanted to address, certain areas in the transfer market. He knows we can't do it all in one go. But quite frankly, when we played the back 3 and we were boring, we were boring, but we didn't get humiliated.
Yeah, Ted just asked how his name says we have no clue. Okay, so let me just break this down. So midfielders are excuses. We never said I never said it'll fix Arsenal's problems. I literally said that just before I started my conversation. So you're wrong there. He signed Ceballos. Yes, he did. Congrats. Begged Xhaka to stay. He actually improved Xhaka under Arteta. So that's probably why he said, stay, you'll be in my plans. And he did improve Xhaka when he was there. Yes, right now he's not playing great, but he did. Yes, he signed Willian. Fair point. Loaned out Torreira. We loaned out Torreira and we got Partey and Mata. That was how it is. Obviously, he got injured, but we didn't expect that. Partey was a complete dominant figure in the midfield, and when he was in the game, changed Arsenal, changed the way, bettered us, and axed Ozil. If you remember correctly, Ozil was axed way before Arteta come in. So yeah, he was he was not way before, actually, that's a lie, but he was already out of the squad, and then it got progressively worse. But yeah, and it's not down to him.
Can you bring that comment back up for a sec? Because you addressed that really well, Cecil. And like everyone's sort of absolutely entitled to their own opinion. Think we're talking rubbish, fair enough. That's all cool. But yeah, you went through them all, and I just want to add points to that. He did sign Ceballos, who was very good, and we all wanted him back. By the way, he also only signed him on loan because we know we're strapped for cash. We don't have much, and that was as good as we could do. He begged Xhaka to stay, but look at two of our biggest games this season. Well, one of them being the Man United game. He didn't start him. We go away at Old Trafford. He didn't start Granit Xhaka. He dropped him for Partey and Elneny, which tells you that his decision to beg Xhaka to stay was very much a short-term solution. I think everyone can agree, whether you rate Xhaka or not, like, he's not the long-term future of Arsenal Football Club. And I think Arteta absolutely understands that. He signed Willian, but yeah, he signed him on a free. He didn't spend 30 million. He signed him on a free. He's got Premier League experience and gave us squad depth. Again, I still have no problem with that deal, really. He loaned out Torreira, as you rightly said, to bring in Thomas Partey. And Guendouzi, Ozil, we know there were problems behind the scenes, and they've had problems with other managers in the past. So, everything you said, Cecil, spot on. I wanted to add another layer to it, because you're right, these decisions, they can be questioned, they can look a bit funny, but let's look at it. Do you know what I mean? Let's try to be fair about it. I've just seen another comment. Nicola Mihai Pop says, strapped for cash, the managers. I'm not going to say that word. Look, yes, we are, in comparison to for what the rebuild needs and for what other managers in similar positions to Arteta have had. Yeah, we have had it harder. Like, I don't know why people are scared to admit that. Yes, we have spent money over the years. We have spent money. I'm not denying that. And actually, we spend more money than people sometimes recognise. But I'm not talking about the last 4 or 5 years. I'm talking about Mikel Arteta in his first summer. He's not had the funds that other clubs have had to work with. And that's because of the pandemic. That's because of our owners. It's because of the lack of sales. Because of a lot of things. But, you know, if you want to judge Arteta fairly and you still want him out, fine. But, you know, be real. Like, let's not pretend he's had the budget Lampard did. Let's not pretend that he's been able to sign £80 million centre backs and £50 million fullbacks like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I just wanted to make that point there.
I just want to say, Daniel,
it's good to debate, guys.
Yeah, Daniel Farkas, thank you so much for your super chat. Jeremy Swazlynch again. Arsenal looked at their budget and said, cheap 10k ultimate team squad builder. Yeah, I mean, we know we don't spend loads. We know Kroenke doesn't want to spend millions and millions and millions on players. But listen, what we have, we try to make do with, and obviously there's more windows. And I think for the board's sake, they're gonna have to put money in this January, in my opinion, just because we can't keep going to the manager and slandering the manager. Yes, it happens, but we can't keep going for the manager's head. Like, I think, who says it? Turkish says it the best. Like, when are we going to start looking at the board? When are we going to start getting campaigning for the board to come out of the club?
Mate, me and Turkish were like one of a real handful, like not many at all, to look at the Kroenkes after the weekend. And that doesn't mean we didn't question Arteta as well, because he has questions to answer. But he's spot on when he says, I think he says this, we'll keep having the same problems until the Kroenkes do more. Now, in fairness, in the last year, they've done a lot more in terms of being involved with the club, and they've made steps. And that's why I've been off their back, because I'm like, okay, it's improving, but it's still miles off what we need from our owners, realistically. But anyway, why is everyone talking about creative midfielders? We don't even have a good defender other than Gabriel. We need defenders. I'm not sure I agree with that. Thank you for the comment, XD Slayer. But I just think Tierney's a real good defender. Gabriel as well. Then you got Maitland-Niles, Cedric Bellerin. One of them will find form and be decent. And then you got David Luiz look good, and you got Saliba who's coming up as well. So I would, I'm not sure. Anyway,
Yeah.
shall we
If you
move on?
Yeah, move on. Sorry, we have expensive front three in the league. We do. Apart from no, potentially. All right, go on.
Shall we chat about Thomas Partey?
Yes. I did briefly, guys. If you were here yesterday, I did briefly touch on this. Yeah, but go on. Let's move.
So,
Yeah,
I think so. By the way, there's a lot of people saying Hugh Wizzy's in the chat. I'm a huge fan of Hugh Wizzy. I've seen him on other shows. He's, I think he's, if it is the real Hugh Wizzy, which it might be, then
I'd put a comment up. Yeah,
I think I'll bring it up. I hope. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is. Do you know what? I always just doubt that people would be watching our streams. That's why I have doubts. No, huge fan of Hugh Wizzy. We're the most expensive front three in the league. Yeah, look, I completely agree with that.
Well, yeah,
and that is
yeah.
But that's where I see like a real problem with the way we spent money, and the way basically the positions we've addressed. Like that is where. How do I put this? So we addressed our front three and we tried to add goals. The problem is we didn't add balance, did we? And you're right, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe are a super expensive, well-assembled front three. But the reality is there's no balance in it. Should Arteta be getting more out of them? I mean, he did in that cup run, didn't he? But
yeah.
But then, it's not really working at the moment. And I can't say any of the three even deserve to be starting right now. So, yeah, anyway, thanks for the chat, though. Good to, a lot of people.
Big up Hugh, though. I rate it. Listen, big up, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, mad. Big up.
The king of fraudulence. I do love his late night fraudulent show. Anyway, we're going way off topic here.
Sorry, we got to move on to Partey, but why not Todd Campbell? Also a good ass. Also, listen, I like Todd as well. But yeah, Buendia I feel like might actually be he might just edge it for the style of player I would want at Arsenal over Todd Cantwell. But yeah, right. Anyway, sorry, Jay. I know.
Right,
sorry.
So let's talk about Thomas Partey. Partey. Now this just got interesting, because the club aren't really giving anything away on him. I mean, they're really not saying much at all. I mean, I'm just having a little look now to see if there's an update in the last. Thomas Partey, left thigh sustained versus Villa. Thomas is progressing well with his rehabilitation ahead of return to full training. They're not saying a lot, Yeah,
I read that previously. That exact. I read that recently, so that can't be when that update must have been.
That was 38 minutes ago, right? So.
Oh wow, so it's the same. That they're not. It's the same. That's the same update as what I got the other day when I spoke about it. That's ridiculous.
They are not giving much away at all, and I didn't want to say this publicly because I thought people were going to think I'm just stupid. I had a theory because I think we'd done this before that Arteta might be keeping quiet actually how close Partey is to being back fit. Something didn't add up. This idea that he wasn't going to be out for long, then suddenly he's out till the new year, and you're thinking, what is going on? This doesn't really make much sense. Then when he's asked about it, he says he's going to be out for a few more games still. Well, what's a few more games? I mean, did the Wolves and Rapid Vienna, is that a few more games? In which case he's fit for Spurs? What's going on? It didn't really make a lot of sense. And we did this, if people remember, we did this with Rob Holding at Old Trafford. We went there, a bunch of players injured, and suddenly Rob Holding's in the starting 11. And I'm thinking, what? I thought maybe there was some doubts around a few players, but not Rob Holding. So I thought that was weird. He was chucked straight in, and then who comes and speaks?
Oh, the
bell. The
bell. Of course.
Gotta love the bell. At 9:36 this morning, information for their publication. They say, although Arsenal has not announced an official return date, there is an opportunity for a pleasant surprise next Sunday, as some sources indicate that Thomas Partey may be on the team list for the Tottenham match. Not necessarily starting. That is, if he passes late checks next Sunday. I take everything he says as gospel, quite frankly.
I know you do.
So I'm sitting there thinking, wow. I mean, but that doesn't surprise me either. And the fact that the club haven't ruled him out, I think is very interesting. I know it's still, was it Wednesday? I know there's still time. I get all that, but yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
that would be mad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be mad. Like I said yesterday, like it was supposed to be a minor injury. A minor quad injury is like a knock to the quad, bruising, something like that. That takes some icing. You can probably be back. You can be back training within the week. Obviously, that wasn't the case. So then we started to question it. Maybe it might be an extended, and it might be a bit longer. And then like it went past like the second week, and I was like, wow. A minor quad injury. Obviously, Arteta did say it's more serious than he expected. After that, is like a torn quad or injury, a teared muscle in the quad. Like that takes, like I said, up to 6 weeks. So I'd be surprised if he's not back. If he's back this week and on the bench, then I'll be very surprised because I think I said yesterday we probably won't see him till around the Christmas time games. But it might. Yeah, if he's back, we need him. I will pray for him to be in the squad on Sunday. If you know what I mean. If we have any hope, we need Partey. Even involvement is a bit. I don't like to hear him say like he'll be on the bench. I'd rather him start, and then if he's not, if he's like this is then he should come off. But yeah, that's what I think anyway.
Mate, we desperately need him for Sunday. He will be crucial to anything we could possibly do there.
Daniel Farkaz says, sorry to interrupt, just a little lesson. Boy, let me get my book and pen. I'm Hungarian. I just got in. Okay, cool. Dominic's name. Oh, he's teaching us the name. Let me get the book. Name is Szoboszlai. You have to pronounce it. Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai.
Cool.
Szoboszlai. Not an I at the end. Not an I at the end. Big up, guys. Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai.
Cool. Fine.
There's no I. Yeah, do you know what, Daniel? I thought he was actually gonna be mad. Like, I was gonna be mad rude then, but you weren't. Daniel, I'm sorry. I was a bit. Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean I was gonna get my book in that. That was my bad. I thought he was gonna be like, "Let me teach you lot a lesson." Yeah. Let me teach. I thought it was coming. I was like, "Oh my god!" But thank you. Big up to you, bro. And Szoboszlai. Yeah. I hope I'm saying that right because I done diction in my studies. I did diction and pronunciation. Someone said yes. People are saying yes.
Sorry.
Finally. Is it that bad? Were we that bad? Well, serious. Szoboszlai, I used to say. Were we that bad?
You said all sorts, mate.
Yeah, because it sounds like I don't know.
You're the worst.
Yeah, I got that. Szoboszlai. Thank you. Honestly, I appreciate that because yeah, I'll tell Don Robbie as well because I know he was struggling. Listen, these days it's hard to get. Listen, footballers have interested that are difficult names.
I wasn't miles off.
I copied you. So if I copied you.
Well, you did do a good job of it, mate.
Let's go to the question quickly. People are saying, finally, that's funny. Arsenal for life successful James Rutech Ericsson. Apparently, we're planning to bid approximately 10.8 million. I wouldn't take him. Actually, from my opinion, I don't think he'll come. I don't think we'll make the actual bid, actually, in my opinion, or make an offer to him. So that is that question answered. Where's the next?
I love this one. Thanks, Henok Tesfaye. Big ups from New Zealand. We are ahead of everyone in the world. That's true. How's the future?
Yeah, Matt, there
Spurs? I mean, what's the future look like for Arsenal? Couple hours ahead. Tell us, because I need some hope.
Don Robbie even says Szoboszlai. Oh, is it a lack? No, is it? I thought he said E. Szoboszlai. It's not. Oh, does he say? Yeah, Robbie. Yeah, he is so confusing. He is confusing. When he says names, it's funny. Okay, fair. Robbie. All right, cool. I'm happy then. I'm happy.
This is our boss. I can't be part of this.
No, because I thought we was doing all right, but Wait, I'm gonna move on. We need to move on, but this is funny. Imran
It is
says,
funny. It is good.
how do you pronounce Shabozlai today's title? Oh, Shabozlai, sorry. I need to get used to that. Right, anyway.
Anyway, right, move on.
Yeah,
Martinelli.
move on.
It's a
Oh,
quick one. They say he's gonna hopefully play for the under-23s this month, and that comes from Arsenal themselves, I believe. I really shouldn't do my fact checking live on the show because it's probably really boring. But I like to double check these things. Yeah, they think he's going to be fit to play at least for the under-23s at some point this month, which sounds really encouraging. But in all fairness, we were expecting him to be back around this time this month. So, but I think it's just time flies, and suddenly you're like, wow, actually, we're on the brink of Martinelli coming back. And we shouldn't be pinning all our hopes on him. But you know, he was a top player for us. As young as he was, the potential he's got is phenomenal. Gabby is now integrating into squad sessions, aiming to participate in an under-23s match for the end of December. So good. That is just such great news. Oh, you've been called a liar here.
I know. Ozil was never actually on the squad prior to Arteta arrival. I mean, bro, if you look at the stories before his attitude and the problems that he was causing before Arteta came in, there wasn't loads of problems, but he wasn't fully integrated in the squad at times because of things outside of football. Xhaka has been average at best. I don't disagree with that, but he got better when Arteta came in and said, "Listen, I want you to stay. I want you to be part of my plans." He definitely. You can't tell me he got better from walking off and swearing at us walking off the pitch to the period of when Arteta came in. He was a completely different player. Obviously now he's gone back on the decline. I understand that. I fully agree with that. Best of rubbish at mostly. You're saying best of rubbish at mostly. That's because that's from recent performances, which I'm not disagreeing with. But he definitely improved. He signed Cedric now. Boy, this is a tough one because this is one I can agree with you here, Junior. Listen, I can know when to put my hands up and when not to. I agree with you. He signed Cedric, and I feel like Cedric should be playing more. Me and James we both like him. I don't think he ever does anything wrong. But again, you're at a football club where there's competition in your position, so sometimes it takes time to get to get into the first team. I think he's proved it. I said it in the live stream yesterday. I wouldn't mind seeing him integrated at least in the squad. But yeah, right now he's a Europa League player. But yeah, Torreira has nothing to do with Partey deal. Funny that listen. When you're at a football club, getting rid of your midfielders. What do you think Arteta does? Let's just get rid of all the midfielders, put them on loan, send them out, and not bring any in. Of course, it was part of the deal. Of course, he had that in his head. He's not just going to say, "I'm going to get rid of all these players and leave it empty, bro." Like, come on, man.
It's normally me losing my head, but here we're cranking up the heat on.
I know. I'm cranking up the heat. I just listen. If you're going to at me, come on. People don't get rid. Listen, do you think you know what I mean? Do you think I'll start getting rid of my washer, my washing machine, my cooker, my fridge, and then complain that I'm hungry? I can't wash my clothes. Of course, I'm doing it to replace it, man. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? They're not just going to let leave.
In all fairness, you make some really good points there, Cecil. The Ozil thing about being axed. Thank you, Junior Cobbler, for the comment. And in all seriousness, guys, like whether we get vexed about it or not, like it's good if you guys disagree with us. We do enjoy the debate. It's what makes a good show. It's what makes us also consider all different angles of these stories and these news and everything. Junior, what I would say is with the Ozil thing being axed, no, he was never dropped from the squad before, like as in deregistered. But in fairness, I don't think any manager had to do that before. But Emery and Lundberg did, even the short time Lundberg was there, he wasn't in favour. So in fairness, I think he was axed before, just he wasn't officially, if that makes sense.
He was officially frozen out,
In terms of Torreira not affecting Partey, I mean, I have to agree with Cecil. I'm sorry. Of course it matters because, again, we had limited space in the squad as it was. We had to leave out Ozil and Socrates. Yeah, of course, Torreira leaving makes way for Partey. There's absolutely no question about that. Can't remember the other thing. Cedric. We knew Cedric was signed as a backup. We knew that. So, you know, all these things, I hear what you're saying, but I don't think these are things to really be getting that wound up with the manager about. But that's my opinion. And if it does for you, then fair enough. You know, I understand why you would, and I understand why some people do. So, just
being called, like, obviously we'll move on. But yeah, the Cedric thing, I do agree with you, though. oh, okay, yeah, we know he's a backup player, but I think he hasn't done anything wrong. I think he doesn't. A lot of Arsenal fans say he's not all that, but he doesn't get enough credit. I don't think he does anything wrong. He doesn't play bad. Doesn't play great. He's not a world beater, but hey, and yeah, that's basically that. And like I said, Torreira, it may not be part of the deal in the sense of who's in the contract, but obviously, if you're going to get rid of your midfielders, they're going to bring someone in. It's not like he's not going to leave it there. Anyway, Miguel C says if Arteta still can't sort out the team after the Spurs game, you think it's time to phone a friend, Arsene, aka Arsene, or even Pep. Do you know what, right? I actually feel Arteta has many conversations with other managers. I really do. I really do. And I don't know, I may have heard it somewhere, but I'm not going to say I did because I haven't got a solid source, but I know being a manager for the first time, right? The game's changed. I think managers will contact him. I think he will contact other managers just for advice, help, because it's a new time as a first team manager. I think the football community is not as hostile and harsh as it used to be. I don't feel like people think, oh, I'm going to make sure I have the upper hand on him and not chat to him. I feel, especially managers that aren't even in jobs right now, I actually feel Arteta will reach out to them and speak to them, or even because and you remember Arteta's friends with a lot of ex-managers or even players that have been in senior roles. So it wouldn't surprise me that he's phoning friends at the moment, especially like I said, he's never been in this situation. He's never been this low managing or at a club. So it's a whole new task for him. This is where you need to see if he can sink or swim. But I
agree with you. I think Arteta knows his own head. I think he knows what he wants. I think he knows how he wants to do things. But I also think he's one to seek advice. I think he is one to listen. But ultimately, I think he knows what he wants to do. So, yeah, maybe it's a good comment there. Thanks, Miguel.
Yeah, I just feel he will phone a friend. I know he's going to phone. He'll be speaking to Arsene this week on the lead up to Tottenham derby. Obviously, he's aware of it. He's played for Arsenal, but yeah, you're going to want to know everything.
He played in some of those.
It's Mourinho as well. Do you know what? Wenger's probably on the phone to him saying, "Make sure you win this game," and saying, "Listen, I didn't get my justice over Mourinho." So yeah, you know what I mean. I'm assuming they're definitely in conversation. Definitely in conversation. Okay, yeah.
Should we chat about Saliba? It's a quick one to round it up, guys. It's been fun. Our shows are getting longer. We went from the international break doing about 20-minute to half-hour shows, and now we're here for we're closing on 45.
Man said I'm like Phil Jones. Don't even let me like that. Wow.
Oh my.
Carry on.
That's
Sorry.
some really interesting comments today. This has been one of the more eventful comment sections I've seen. Anyway, yeah, man, we're getting to 45 minutes now on shows. It's been really good fun. Let's quickly just round it up. Saliba potentially joining, I think it's Patrick Vieira who manages Nice, which is, again, here I am doing on-stream research. Saliba needs game time if he's not going to play. And we keep hearing murmurs that he's really impressing Arteta and that he's doing well in training, doing well for the under-23s. That's all great. But if you don't play him, send him out on loan and then hit the refresh button in the summer. So be interesting what happens there. But I do think Saliba needs some... I do. That's jokes.
Wessel W.
I do think we need to get Saliba out on loan now. I think just put this to bed, get him out on loan, get him playing, and go from there.
Yeah, the sooner he's out, the sooner he's back. If I'm honest, because we need him. Yeah, sorry, I'm just saying. People are saying AFTV just posted about Kone. Oh, Kone. Yeah, I'll say his name. I set to move for. Oh, okay. James, I don't know if you want to. We could talk. We're running over time. We are running over time.
What have I missed?
This comment here. Sorry, but we can tell Don Robbie, and he'll be able to.
We've been linked to Kanate. He's another centre back. I'm not sure we need him, but hey.
Okay. Right, we'll move on swiftly then. Saliba, who could captain? Listen, like you said, the sooner he goes, the sooner he goes on loan, the sooner he gets back. I think we need him. That was one decision from Arteta that I'm yet to understand. I literally don't know enough. I've scoured I said this before, I've scoured the internet, and spoke to all the sources that Don Robbie has and myself, and want to find out why Saliba not being involved. We haven't really found much. Yeah, that's all I can give you guys. Yeah, listen, he needs to go, like I said, and so he can come back. Go on, James.
I'm hearing Jared McCormack says we missed a super chat. Is this the super chat we missed? That we missed a super chat? I'm not sure. Anyway, Jared, quickly get your comment in at the bottom, and I'll read it out if we can. Yeah. Doesn't look like I'm seeing it anywhere. Right, guys, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, just before we round up, Jared, obviously, if you want to get that comment in, we can try and pop it up before we leave. No one on there. There was one earlier. Okay, cool. Basically, guys, I just want to quickly say, again, thank you so much for everyone that participated in the Walk the Line charity event yesterday that we held here on AFTV. I also want to say, even if you didn't donate, just watching and being part of it, you've done your bit, okay? So that means the world to us as a collective, as a team, myself, because I listen, doing things for charities is always close to my heart. And yeah, like I said, even if you're just watching, you're contributing to the views, which contributes to money that goes straight back to the High Food Bank. So thank you so much for getting involved in that. We appreciate you. We raised up to over £5,000. There was for the High Food Bank. So thank you for that. It really means the world to us. Yeah, that's it from me and James this morning. Sorry we overran, but overrunning a show is never a problem. We don't actually have a set time, so when we say we overran, we don't. We never overrun. But it's always good to conversate with you guys and speak. So thank you so much. Please keep continuing the messages and contacting us and joining our show every morning. Again, we're here at 10 a.m. Robbie will be here at 7 p.m. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. It is hump day. We're in the middle of the week. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
This is AFTV VIP, the official web app with members-only content, has no ads and a live in-game match center. The bias predictor, it has daily polls, and the AFTV 11 selector. Just one click away.